Hi everyone. Thanks for joining in. A quick video to share one idea that I had while reading a book a few days ago. I went to our local library here in Doncaster and came across a book that was on the rack marked new to the library. So it's a brand new book written by Rand Friskin. I hope I got the name right. Rand Friskin is the founder of Moz. People who are familiar with SEO tools would be familiar with Moz, which is Moz is a $45 million company that has put in SEO tools up on the web for people to download. I believe it's a SaaS company, software as a service. So the book is about his journey. He's not one of those Silicon Valley founders. He's based out of Seattle. So he didn't go the typical fundraising route, pitching to VCs and angel investors. He started his business basically as a small business, like most Aussie founders do. Consulting business, SEO, optimization, website design, print design, graphic design, and everything and anything connected to that area. We're talking early 2000s, maybe 10-15 years ago. And yeah, he was doing this. He was doing quite well. And but 4 years into this consultancy business, he realized he was running himself ragged, working day and night, being a bit of a control freak. He was, insisting that everything gets, ticked off by him. So even though he was doing very well, he found out that these consulting businesses don't scale very well, because every time you got a new customer, you need to add one more person to the staff. He was having more than 15 people in staff, and it doesn't scale very well. He was finding that he was having to turn business back, which really was an agonizing decision for him. So what did he do? He had a website on the side, which was a non-for-profit site. It's called seomoz.org. So he's a fan of the open source movement, and Moz comes from Mozilla Foundation, which is a non-for-profit open source organization. So there were a lot of Moz.org sites those days. So this is purely an informational, educational site where he put this dark art of SEO optimization, how to get ranked in Google, was a black art hidden by Google from the public. He didn't like that, and he wanted to expose the way Google ranked pages and everything. That information, whatever he knew, he put up on this site, seomoz.org, and kept updating as soon as Google changed the algorithm, which they do very often. So his site, seomoz.org, was getting a huge amount of traffic and getting written up in the tech press as well as Newsweek and media organizations like that. So when he decided that he couldn't take any more business for his consultancy service, he thought he would put some of the software tools that he used in his consultancy business to help his clients on this seomoz.org website. And he didn't want the site to crash or create even more traffic, which would end up him having to pay a lot more money to the service providers, the server people. So what he did was he put these software tools behind a firewall. Behind a paywall. So the only reason why I did that was to reduce the amount of people wanting to download it. So he thought he might have a couple of hundred people downloading. That's about it. Not everyone visiting the site would want to download it, pay for it. He charged what he thought is a fairly high price, about $39 a month, to be able to access the paywall and download the software. But to his surprise, the by the end of the first year, he had nearly $400,000 revenue from this, what we now call software as a service. That term was not known those days. From this business, from this product that he had put out, he converted the service into a product, and he found that it was more profitable than his consultancy business. So he ended up winding back the consultancy business and doing this full time with about the same amount of staff, and ended up what it was later, a few years later, $45 million company, which he's still, he may not be the CEO, but he's still there. So when I was reading this was into chapter 2 or 3 of this book that he explained all this. He has explained in great detail, so I've just summarized it for you, otherwise this video will be too long and no one will watch it. The idea I got was, this is what we need to do in Silicon Beach, because right now, as if you are in Melbourne, you'll know that we are running a lot of workshops and events in Melbourne, on top of the usual monthly pitch night. We are running workshops. We ran a SEO for startups workshop about a few weeks ago with Rajiv, who's an SEO specialist, and we got more than 100 RSVPs on Eventbrite, and nearly 80 people turned up, which is really good for a free event. More than 80% turn up rate. And we'll be following up with paid events, paid workshops, of that 3 workshop series. And also Rajiv has come up with an idea to have an in-depth masterclass, which will be for a limited number of people at a higher price. So, and also on the 18th of October, we'll be running a workshop called Capital Raising for Startups, which will be run by Bradley Burchell, who's going to be our chief investment advisor. He's an investor, a highly connected investor, has a network of so many angel investors in his network, and as well as an entrepreneur several times over, past CTO of seek.com.au. So Bradley is a great resource for us, and he's doing this free actually for us. The workshop, we are charging $25 per head, but all that money is coming to Silicon Beach. CoWork.me in St. Kilda is giving the event space free. So we're getting a lot of goodwill from our partners and sponsors as well. Bradley is coming on as a sponsor, and we'll be having Law for Startups soon with Law Squad. A startup based in California, San Diego, California, is moving into Melbourne. I had a Zoom meeting recently with Tracy, who's one of the founders from this cybersecurity startup. They have raised money from Right Click Capital, which is a venture capital firm based in Sydney. They have, because of that, these founders are moving from California to Australia, and they have opted to settle in Melbourne because, of course, Melbourne is the most livable startup city. So there you go. Startups are moving from California to Melbourne. You will be able to hear from them on the 9th of October. We're still finalizing the details. There will be cybersecurity for startups workshop also in CoWork.me. Could be 9th of October or later, we're not decided. So there'll be lots like that. So what I thought when reading this book is, let's make these events and workshops, especially the material from the educational workshops, available to people who can't otherwise attend these events. They may not be in Melbourne. They may not be available on these days that we are having it. Or even if they attend it, they might want to review the information and revisit it and really get serious into it. So rather than making those information free, which we do through our live streams and all that, why don't we put it behind a paywall? And like Rand did, it's not only the live stream or the recording of the workshop, the documentation, and even access to those workshop facilitators like Bradley, Rajiv, and other people, maybe a couple of hours a week at a certain time. They'll be available on a private Slack channel that is available. It's only available to the paid members of Silicon Beach, or it could be via Zoom, one-on-one video conference, or a group video conference. We don't know. There's so many things we can do. And also not only the online training, but what about other things? We have so many co-working spaces partnering with us. They could offer various deals like free co-working days, weeks, months, all to paid members, and also things like discounts to gyms, meditation, mindfulness classes, whatever that we are going to have over the coming month. October is going to be the World Mental Health Month, so we'll be having events and workshops around that. There'll be a watch out for a movie, New Hustle, the documentary on 3 Australian startups, Canva, Vinomofo, and Safety Culture. We are showing that movie. The money is going to Movember Foundation for their work for mental health and prostate cancer. So we'll be doing a lot of those things. Keep an eye out for that. But this video, I did it basically, we will be having regular videos like this, Half Your Luck, so you don't have to watch them, but I would like some, and thank you for watching. If you have watched this far, I've been going for 12 minutes, so I better wrap up. But we would like some, I would like some feedback on why do you think this is a good idea or not, and let's do a pre-mortem on that. Pre-mortem is, let's think of worst case scenarios. How could this fail? And if we can think of those things now, then we can take steps to avoid or mitigate those things from happening. So yeah, comment below wherever I post this video. It could well be on our general Slack channel, could be on a blog post as well if I have time. Yes, thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of the weekend and this bright and sunny spring day. Don't forget, next Thursday, this is the day before the grand final long weekend, I'll be at Frankston Foundry in Frankston, and I checked the weather. It's going to be a beautiful day, 22 degrees, so we might actually take our laptops and iPads down to the beach and co-work at the beach, which is only about less than 10 minutes walk from Frankston Foundry. So join us on the 27th of September. The meetup page, it's up on Meetup, but you need to click through to their Eventbrite page, which is linked there, because they need to know exactly how many are coming. And after the co-working day, they're also having Peninsula drinks, so a networking drink. I think they're having someone on blockchain, on cryptocurrency, I think, talking as well. Details are on their Eventbrite page. So see you at one of these events, but mostly I would like some comments and feedback on this idea. Thanks. Have a good weekend. Bye.